Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with ATBBQ.com, and this is mashed potatoes and turkey gravy. I know 99% of the time you see me cooking, I'm outside on the patio in front of a grill, but the truth is all of us cook inside, so today we're cooking inside because we're making mashed potatoes and gravy, and there's really no need to get that grill involved. Now this is a crucial side dish when it comes to Thanksgiving, so we're gonna give it our all. I'm using russet potatoes today, although I'm not opposed to using Yukons as well. I just kind of grew up on russet, so this feels like comfort food to me. We're gonna peel 3.5 pounds of potatoes and then get them into some water and boil them. Typically, I just cut these into large chunks so they cook a little faster rather than like a whole potato, and try to make all the pieces about the same size. The other thing we're gonna throw in with the potatoes is a couple cloves of garlic, and we'll just peel the skins off of those and crush them and throw them in whole. And then all of it will go through the ricer to break all of that stuff down. So I've got some warm water in a Dutch oven here. We're just gonna put all of those potatoes and the garlic in. We'll cover it until it comes up to a simmer and then uncover it and cook until tender. Two things we're gonna wanna add to these mashed potatoes: about a cup of heavy cream and about a 1/4 cup of butter. You can always adjust these to your liking. Maybe you like more butter, less cream. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that you heat it up so it goes into the potatoes hot. All right, so let's talk gravy now. What we have here, you can see this gelatinized, delicious bit of turkey drippings. Now this is from a spatchcock turkey. You can go watch those videos. This is what we took out of the pan and saved for the gravy. We also made some homemade turkey stock. There's another video for that as well. Between the two, we want about 1 quart of liquid. The other thing we need to thicken our gravy is a roux, so equal parts fat and flour. What I have in here is about just a little over a tablespoon of turkey fat that I scraped off the top of the cold turkey drippings. We're gonna combine that to make about 1/2 cup of fat and 2/3 cup of flour. So I'll start by warming the turkey stock and drippings in a skillet, and then once we get that hot, we'll start to build the gravy over here. Turkey stock's hot. I'm gonna put it in a pitcher because that'll make it easier to incorporate into the Dutch oven as we make the gravy. So let's get this roux started. Start with that turkey fat. I'm gonna turn this to about medium low. Throw in the butter. So all that fat melted down, so now we're gonna throw in our all-purpose flour. And let this cook down for a minute before we add in that stock. Once that roux gets to the point where it starts to look like wet sand, we're gonna start adding in some of our liquid. And just keep on whisking. It's a lot of roux. Need a little bit more liquid in here. So we're just gonna add some more turkey stock. We're at about 1.5 quarts now. Let's throw in a little seasoning. Love some salt and pepper in a gravy, so we'll start with 1 tablespoon of the Cattleman's Lone Star. That's gonna give us both of those, plus a little garlic and celery seed. I'm gonna guess that we're gonna end up at about 2. It doesn't look like quite enough for my taste. So now if you want this creamier, you can throw in some milk, some cream. If you want it thinner, you can add some water, some more stock. But for now, we're just gonna keep it warm until the potatoes are done. All right, giving this a couple minutes to let that salt dissolve and that pepper bloom. The pepper's always gonna get a little bit hotter the longer it gets warmed up. Ooh, I like right where that's at. It's about 25 minutes in. Those are pretty tender. I'm gonna give it just a few more. Potatoes are tender, so we're gonna strain them off now. I like to catch the liquid just in case I want to incorporate some later. Not saying we will, but it's a possibility. Some good starchy water. Now we're gonna run these potatoes through the potato ricer, which in my opinion is one of the most underrated tools in the kitchen and probably the best way to make mashed potatoes. So Load it up, press them through, and then mix in the rest of our ingredients. I want these things really tender for this, because if they've got any sort of like firmness to them, it's gonna hold some of that texture in the end. Since we're not like whipping these, using any sort of a mixer on them, they really need to be broken down. So now we're gonna pour in our warmed up cream and butter. And because it's warm and the potatoes are warm, and because we're not whipping this or beating it, we're gonna get a much better texture out of this already super tender mixture of potatoes. And that's one of the advantages that using a ricer gives you. So while we're at it, let's go ahead and add some seasoning. We can go bit by bit with the salt. Obviously we don't want to overdo it, but a lot of times potato needs quite a bit of salt. So we'll start with a couple teaspoons. We're using the Jacobsen black garlic salt. So we're gonna get a little bit of black garlic in there and some really great sea salt. And automatically it becomes aromatic. Just look how smooth that's looking. And this right here is personal preference, but I like to add just a touch of sour cream in there. I think it makes the flavor just a little bit more interesting while continuing to make it more creamy. This is kind of at room temperature. It's been sitting out for maybe 45 minutes. So it works right into the mix pretty easy. Let's see if we want to add any more salt. We'll get a taste here. Just like the gravy, I want to let this salt sit in the potatoes so it can dissolve, and then we can better understand how this flavor is going to present when we actually serve it. Oh man. That does not need any more salt. About a tablespoon is that perfect spot. Creaminess is on point, texture's on point, flavor's on point. Let's top it off with some gravy. Let's do a cafeteria style. I'm totally kidding. We're gonna plate this up. Now realistically, you're serving your mashed potatoes alongside some turkey or some ham. They're creamy, so you can make them look pretty. Go ahead and put a little art into it. Make yourself a little well for all that turkey gravy. Oh my gosh. That's a classic for a reason. There's so much savory going on from that turkey stock. We seriously inserted so much flavor by making that turkey stock from scratch and using the drippings. So go check out the spatchcock turkey videos. Go check out the how to make turkey stock videos. Bring this all together. If you're gonna put effort anywhere, put it into one of the most classic side dishes of all time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out ATBBQ.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoyed the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to ATBBQ.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.